spanked her in the ass, told her to do it.
Yeah, this is like where, I don't know, you guys were talking AI stuff. This is where it would be really great. David has some phone thing that he just presses play, and then this AI, whatchamahoo's it?
Does he voice record into it?
It just records everything that's going on in the room, and it puts it into the note where it should be. So subject to upset, it's all because it has different categories. That's awesome. Yeah.
But does it false diagnose,
If you do, David has said you do have to read through and make sure, because it will say the wrong thing.
See? Mm-hmm. It's not ready yet. Speaking of which,
it will be.
I'm gonna just try to see if it works.
Yeah.
Oh look.
It worked. The new theme. I can play it tonight.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh goody.
What's Liège-Bastogne-Liège?
It's a bike race.
The old lady.
You see how mad he got?
Another cycling podcast. Just what the world needed. Grab your overpriced espresso and let's talk about your FTP. We're the pack fillers, the back of the line. Not here to win, just here for the snark. Now shut up and pedal!
Damn fucking right. Shut up and pedal.
That's great.
I started with one of my only F-bombs because I've been told I got to cut them back. So there we go. Poem time. Last week, Wout conquered Roubaix and lifted the stone. Now Amstel had left half the peloton thrown. They dodged bollards and sprinted for hills. I'm just dodging the potholes to save on my bills. That was a pause for the ultimate laughter that poem brought about. Welcome to episode 524 of the longest standing podcast on the sport of cycling. This is the Packfiller Podcast. You know you can think of us as a post-ride beer with several friends and one asshole. I might very well be that asshole. My name is Pat Bolger, and according to Instagram, I am the reason why Masters men can't hang with the women's pro peloton. Today was an interesting day on social media. But let's see who's here with us tonight with our Big Barn Brewing prologue question, courtesy, of course, Big Barn Brewing. 3 of the 4 of us are enjoying Big Barn's fares right now. Sam is he sucks. And when you're there, you guys stop, view the beauty, sip the brilliant beers, and tell them Packfiller sent you. We haven't developed any kind of a tracking method for Big Barn yet. So I think just telling them, hey.
There's an event going out of there same weekend as Tour de Bloom.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
gravel.
That doesn't do me any good.
I'm just letting people know.
Oh, it's a gravel ride?
There's gravel. It's a gravel flam dangle or something.
Oh,
like
that's Justin's race, the flam dangle.
So that's happening.
God, it's early this year.
I know. And then there's also another road ride that's happening out of there as well that same weekend.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah.
So Big Barn Brewing, thank you guys. Tonight's question is in honor of Jackson, because this April 27th is his golden birthday. That's a big fucking deal.
Thanks.
Yeah. You
made it this far.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're celebrating the fact that you just simply stayed alive for another year. It's not like you're in high risk or anything like that. So first of all, let's raise a glass to the best day of my life. No. 27 years ago. That's my boy. Also, the question for tonight is, gentlemen, and this is just helping me a little bit. Gentlemen, the question for tonight is, what do you want for your birthday? Yeah, see how he did that? Say that? Wink, 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 wink. So first and foremost, he is switching bikes so quickly that people might mistake him for a political pundit, Mr. Paul Main. You've been jumping back and forth lately just because of the damage and the breakage and the ball.
If only you had a more reliable.
Yeah, I know that
disc brake bike.
Oh yeah, that 14-year-old crankset gave up the ghost.
It did.
It should have lasted at least 10 times that way.
If it was an old classic campy super record,
it would still be out there.
Yeah, all you have to do is just on the old tapered,
Yeah, that's true.
Bottom bracket, all you have to do is round it off a little bit, and it's over.
That's a good point.
Take a little bit of aluminum can in there to kind of wedge
it in there. It's like a cotter pin.
Yep.
How are you, man?
Good.
What do you want for your birthday?
When
is your birthday, Paul?
In January.
In January. Mm-hmm. Okay.
To go back to Belgium.
Oh, that's a good birthday present. That is a really good birthday present. Next off, he attacked so quickly after the gun last week, I didn't have time to throw anything at him. Mr. Sam Waples.
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, the fuck!
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had basically just warmed up with a threshold interval, so I'm like, there's a certain timer on this, so I might as well go from the gun.
Man, you did.
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that race more in depth here as we go. But Sam, how are you? Number one.
Good.
Number two, what do you want for your birthday? And when is your birthday?
February. And
We got winter boys. Winter babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. February's a great month. January is too.
You know why February is so short? Because it sucks.
Yeah.
No offense.
See, I think that it's great because like both my birthday, my wife's birthday, and then there's like several other friends that have birthdays in February, and it's like boom, 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 boom.
Oh.
And so then you get through it.
Have you ever clocked? So many people are in January and February. There's tons of people I know.
What's 9
Clock
months
back.
previous?
I know.
Yeah,
9 months,
well,
yeah.
spring fever. It's
Spring
April,
fever,
May,
April, May.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weather's nice.
Yeah.
I've been really trying, baby. Yeah, I got you. So, what do you want for your birthday, Sam?
Oh, I'm a big events guy. It was like this year, my wife, gave me going up to Haleakala, or she joined me for that.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
things like that, that's always, I don't want items. I want experiences with friends and family. So something like that, an epic event, like we go out for a bike ride or I don't know.
Shit, damn, no pressure, Jackson. You're next. He is. I did everything with quickly, so this one, he's growing up so quickly. I'm not crying. You are, Mr. Jackson Bulger, 27.
Yeah.
Holy shit, fuck! Just
Yep.
came out of nowhere.
I know.
That's
Here we are.
crazy.
Do you feel close to 30?
I just feel 27,
Okay.
almost 27.
Okay.
I don't know if I necessarily put a timer on it.
You're a glass half full kind of guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're just looking at the glass. You're not even full or empty. You're just like, yeah, it's a glass of water, man.
Yeah. What could I put in that glass? So I think.
well,
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson Bulger, what do you want for your birthday this year?
I really want a new helmet.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
By which manufacturer?
I kind of want to switch to Giro. I don't really love how.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't love the creative direction that Pac has gone. I think they went a little too wide.
Yeah, it
Oh.
is kind of boxy.
Looking a little mushroomy.
Yeah, and I don't think they did a good job. I think the one that I have was their best version, and then they kind of just made it a little. The vegan cyclist.
God, there's an old name.
Yeah. Rest in peace to that channel.
Wait,
Not
is
him,
that
not
is
him.
it
He's
done?
fine. He's
No,
fine.
he hasn't done shit in a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, he's
yeah.
fine. I think he just got
He
burned
switched
out.
it to VC. He went VC for a while.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
did some cool shit, but I think he just gave up the ghost. I think he got tired of cranking out content, which I
Yeah.
oh fuck the stuff he was doing. But anyway, sorry,
But
Jackson.
he said if the helmet makes you look a little wienery, then I don't know if it's worth it. And they went a little wienery, and
You
so,
know, that gives the entire EF first team a completely different visual now.
Yeah.
Thinking pink helmets.
yeah.
But
But I want the version of the helmet that you guys have, but the Aero version.
oh,
So fewer vents, but I don't find myself getting my head,
Yeah.
super overheated.
I've never had that problem either.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I want that.
I think we're hotheads.
Yeah, I look like the dude from the movie Airplane when it's just running off him like he looks like he's in a shower.
It has nothing to do on a 70-degree day that you have a base layer, a short sleeve jersey,
Torso
long sleeve
and
shirt.
head are completely
And a
different
thermal
parts of your
jersey
body,
over
Paul.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Torso and head are
It's
completely
the
different
only
parts of your
area
body.
you can't sweat through all of your clothes.
I hate starting cold. I hate it.
How did the race go for you with all those layers? How
I
many
was
layers did you
fine.
have?
Fresh as a fucking daisy. There's my third F. I don't know why. I just feel like swearing tonight. It's probably real beer. No, I was fine. It's good.
Yeah.
This weekend I was good. I did get a little warm when we stopped. Like a red light. I'd be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
My cheeks start to look like Paul's sweater.
Mm.
Then
Yeah, I have a
then we
problem
go
with
to-
overheating. Like if I overheat, then I'm cooked.
Oh.
So
Quickly. Introductions. Me, I'm aging so quickly. I might soon need some tape to hold back my neck waddle.
neck waddle.
I am Pat Bulger, and I am a. Sorry, Jackson. Did I cut you off? You wanted the helmet. Was there anything else?
I do want a Garmin computer, but those two
do.
together are like $1,000. So
That's-
it's a lot of money.
Which Garmin?
The Garmin,
But you're in
It's
the
a 10
Wahoo
something.
ecosystem.
He is in the Wahoo ecosystem.
barely, like Just barely.
Just
But you're
his head
barely in the
unit.
Garmin.
Just the head unit.
Your watch is Garmin.
yeah,
His watch
but-
is Garmin. His tail light is Garmin.
Still is Garmin.
Yeah. So I pay everything. I give everything attention to Garmin right now, and so Wahoo. I think once I get rid of the head unit, I'll be happy. I
Wow.
like Wahoo. I just
You're.
What are you going to
leaning
do
towards
with your
Garmin.
old one?
Yeah.
I think actually
Paul takes people's old computers.
I think you actually have the one that I have now.
Is it? It's an Element. I think.
It's a Bolt.
Is
a Bolt.
Is it,
You're right,
is it
that's
color
it.
screen?
No.
Is yours, Paul?
No.
Is yours, Jack?
Why do you have a color
It
screen?
might
It's
be.
my pocket. Why do I need that?
Well, it's the next level up, is what I'm saying. My name's Pat Bulger, and I am a toy guy. I want a drone camera.
Spalding, you'll get
You
nothing.
do like
You'll like
gadgets.
it.
Yeah. What?
You do like gadgets.
Or I want recovery legs.
yeah.
I would like those. I would even
There's some
take.
on sale on Facebook Marketplace right now.
Are they? I would even take the ones that you just put ice packs in.
Oh yeah.
You know,
The
slide
ice
them in.
legs.
The ice legs. That
Phil
Phil
Guyman.
Phil Guyman pushes those. Yeah, I'd take those. They seem fairly.
I have his original.
Do you?
Because then he started ice legs, but yeah, I have his podium legs.
There's
Yeah.
a question for Dr. David
There is
about between heat and ice.
and
Is it
the
flat?
cold plunge shit that people
Yeah.
are doing.
Yeah.
I hear it's
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
Sam, do
It-
you might have a touch on that.
Yeah.
We're jumping all over
Yeah.
already.
No, I mean, there is a lot of science behind all of that at a very baseline level. It is great to have, like, there are Normatec legs that you can buy that are those compression legs, and they have cold in them. Same with Game Ready is another brand. And it's good to have the combination of both those because cold is a vaso constrictor, so it pushes blood out, which when we finish, we have lactic acid, all metabolic wastes that are sitting in our legs, and we want to flush that stuff out. So that's good for that. It's the same kind of principle that cold is going to do. And then there's like some talk about like fat adaptation with cold plunge, and so yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of science behind it.
So there you go. There you go. Gentlemen, how are things cycling-wise? How we all do it? We had beautiful weather yesterday and today. Tomorrow it's going to, I hear, turn to kind of shit. But we need a little bit of shit because we don't want smoky summers.
No.
But
What do you bet we still have a smoky summer?
Yeah. I mean,
High probability.
Jackson,
heavy
you
rain
weren't supposed
in the
to
spring
say it.
Yeah.
and then dry in the summer
Right.
creates a smoky one because
Yeah.
we have so much foliage.
Yeah.
It's better not to just have it normal, but if we get saturated and the foliage gets really thick and,
A whole bunch of kindling.
and then it dries. If we have like a series of 100-degree days, then we're screwed, you know.
All right.
Yep.
Night, everybody.
Yeah.
How's everybody's cycling life going? How are we doing? How's the motivation? How's the training? Are you on target? Are you missing out on a couple things? I'm going to very shortly get into our last Thursday night's road race. Actually, if we want to, we could just jump straight into that if we want to, because we did have the first of our. We label them training races. Mm-hmm. Technically, they're legit. They're USAC races. They're as they are.
Points.
They earn points. There's a podium. There's everything like that. So it's a race. So training race in the fact that it's local. It's on a weeknight, and you can just pop out there and do it and pop home. And we had our first foray into that. So first, I guess my questions are: how are everything going with you, and how do you want to interpret what happened last Thursday? Before we gang up on Sam, who fucked it all up.
Not my.
I felt good. I did all of what I needed to do, and then moving into the weekend, I think I had a bit of a realization, and it happened when it was you, Father.
Me. Yes.
I
am your father.
Yeah. Roger.
Yeah.
And myself all going up a little climb.
Yes.
And
Climb out of Medical Lake.
yeah, and you hit it, and I was like, I still feel like I can push even further. And so like I felt like
you did.
Yeah. And so that was the first time in my training that I was like, wow, this weight stuff's really paying off.
Oh, okay.
Like I felt like, I mean, and I was, big ring, mid cog, just like grinding it. And I was telling Sam a lot on Sunday that it's like, that is sweet spot for me. And I think the realization that I had was that I don't just have one trick. when it comes to my racing. And I think this last week, that's what I have been banking on so much, was that I did a really good job in neutralizing some of our biggest threats when it came to the race. And I was really happy with that. I was happy to play that role. I played that role a lot. But it opened my eyes this last weekend to that I don't have to just play that role. I think I can still do that, but in ways that contributes to further success for the team later on in the race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think next time I'm going to race a little bit differently, but I also will keep enough for my skill set.
And these are the races in which to see, run it up the flagpole and see what happens. You never know. You could be just like, I have programmed my brain as this type of a tactical stylist, but next thing I know, holy shit, I just won a solo break,
Totally.
Yeah.
Laying down the wattage and just making everybody hurt too.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Give myself a little bit of a more motivation to just be more confident with my style of writing.
By the way, I don't need anything for my birthday now.
Okay.
Because the fact that you said I have a little bit more that I can go, and I was the instigator prior to that, I could just put that on my headstone and I will die tonight.
You made it.
Yeah. I was there
when
Jackson was a little tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I turn around and it was you and
Roger.
And him.
Yeah, we can say it.
Yeah,
we drank
Roger.
once.
It was you and
We don't
Roger,
have to drink every time. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's also a fucking ox.
Yeah. Yeah. The dude is strong. Yeah. The dude is always there.
One speed. He's just
He
that little,
yeah.
you have that Strava time setter, right? That you can if you're going to follow, for a KOM. And it's just
Roger
that's
can
your
lay
marker.
down massive wattage and just destroy you. That's what he trains for.
Since
He just
he was a
sits there.
kid,
Yeah.
he was that way.
Yeah.
When
He
was
just
a
sits there
junior.
at that pace.
Yeah.
He doesn't accelerate really hard. He just that one
And he's
tempo.
always there. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
He's a
Mind-bending.
smooth peddler.
Oh, he's a beautiful bike rider. I hate him. I hate him.
Total ass.
Yeah. Oh, God, he's so rude, too.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
awful.
God.
Just
What an
always.
attitude.
Yeah, just whiner, God. We
Nicest
had
guy
to
ever.
change the entire ride to go north because Roger didn't want to drive so far. Yeah, actually, first thing I saw him, he was like, "Yeah, when I got out of bed this morning at 2 a.m. to get to the ride, I was just wondering what it was going to be like." He just threw that out there because he lives
It
way
is
north,
such
and
a far ride.
we meet at the farthest southernmost point of the city, basically.
Well, one of our teammates, Josiah, rode from his house
He rode from his house.
and back. He got
90
miles.
Holy
He's in
shit.
Green Acres, isn't he? Which is
I don't-
Valley.
far east
Yeah.
valley.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's not
Or
screwing
Orchard.
around. That's good to hear. That Thursday night race was a Paul. We missed you, man. We definitely missed you.
Not really. I mean, I wouldn't have any bearing on the race, right?
Well,
Oh, come on.
your presence.
I would have started.
Yeah.
There would have been 18 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that Sam, you just came to FSU because it was that first lap, and this is I'm trying not to be self-deprecating here. I was just happy that there were like 4 or 5 guys gone after that first lap, and I was not one of them. That was just we came across the line. I was like, holy shit, that was fast.
It was fast.
And then it kept going and stuff like that. So
We were doing 27 to 28 miles an hour the whole time.
yeah,
That's
with high
fast.
winds
Even,
too.
Yeah.
even
With
in
winds
my
in that
little
little
group,
stretch.
we were doing 26.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No.
I averaged 300 watts
Yeah.
for that whole race.
Yeah.
And I was in the quote third group end quote.
Yep.
I don't suck.
But I will say I was there for the moment when that split formed, and I don't think it was a matter of fitness. I think it was just a split-second decision of he went, do I follow, do I stick? It was that's what I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were.
Yeah.
It was
Did you
It was
fall
just strung
off,
out.
or were you behind people that got split?
I don't remember.
I think it was because it was strung out because I came by you and I was like, let's get up. And to my knowledge, you jumped on my wheel because then we were coming up the field past some people that were coming off the backside. Because
you
KBP
talked to
was
me in a
also
bike
there.
race?
Who was?
Yes, KBP.
And
I saw him going up and I'm like, don't miss that.
No.
You know, like if he's moving up, he's a very good tactical rider. So anyway, we move our way up and then David moved and did another attack, split the field again. And then Dave Holden, the other big sprinter guy, had to absolutely bury himself to get up there. Cause that was the split. Like you could tell everybody was on a thread. And I like, look, I'm like, he's done. And I went around him and bridged up to the gap. And so so it was just so strung out. That's the thing is like we were all just so strung out that I think you were just a couple spots too far behind.
I kept Jackson's group within distance for a while.
I know.
And I don't want to bash the people I was with, but I was doing a lion's share of the work, and we kept that distance for a long time, and then eventually it grew a little bit.
And then everybody's done chasing.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it was, I mean, to give my 2 cents on it, I was very frustrated at the end. I was not a good sport.
Yeah, before you continue, can I mention that we had 3 people in the break?
Yep.
Out of 7. And we got
4th, 6th, 7th, or whatever.
6th,
so we actually got 4th through 8th.
Oh.
Because it was you, David, Clint, and myself.
Yep.
All back to
and I got 11th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we're leading the team thing by a good margin now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
What kind of pissed me off, though, is 11 is like 1 point. Because they give you points for the top 10. And I'm like, come on.
Well,
man,
it's confusing because Booger is technically leading. But Booger doesn't race in A's. It's just all...
It's just because, generally. But, like, I mean, I guess they are winning the C group.
Yeah.
But in the A's. But where I was going to go with it is that, like, it was a very frustrating race because I don't want to make our teammates feel bad. Besides David, he's a total shithead. But we had Clint, myself, and David up in the group. I told Clint in the beginning, I'm like, Clint, sit in. Do not spend any energy. And what is, I was trying to, like, you go for the win. That's it. Like and there's a couple times that he kept going to the front. I'm like, stop closing gaps. You're not understanding your role. I've told you.
Do you think he's never been in that role?
I think he's never been in that role. And so it was like, I'm trying to share the role and teach people, like racing and stuff, because I have a lot of experience with, racing, as you do too.
Yeah.
So I think like being kind of that road captain of like, you are the sprinter, sit in, right? And Jackson does a great job of like, we were talking about this on our ride. Like in the past years, the 3 of us are able to just communicate without even talking.
Yeah.
So, there is that like we just know our roles and where we're going to be, but it just, since it didn't go well, and I kept telling David, he kept doing attacks that were just like, I'm like joked that I'm like, this is David. He's like, and he just like throws this tiny little punch, and then he's like looks back like he shattered the whole field. I'm like, we're all right here. You literally did nothing. Stop doing that.
Oh.
And so, but he was just like, well, I'm not dead yet. And I'm like, okay, save it up. What are you doing? And so he just kept doing these tiny little things, that weren't. So it was just, my whole job was trying to control the pack. David's whole job was to disrupt the whole pack, which was worth nothing, which countered my move. And then Clint was trying to figure it out. So
yeah.
It was just a bummer because we definitely should have at least been on the podium. Like, that's a bummer. But I think it made me realize, like, play it a little different.
I thought Paul was going to say something.
No,
He's just
I was
like,
just not. Yeah, got to play it different.
You got to look on your face like.
I think that.
These
Well,
days.
I think that it's one of those things that at the risk of sounding extremely selfish, I should have just taken the role immediately. Like, okay, I'm our guy. I'm going to win this because I think that I would have done that role better.
Yeah, but and that's what these events are for.
Yeah.
and things like that.
Exactly
so,
right. It's learning.
It's learning and it's teaching, but it's one of those things where it's like to not get on the podium when we're that stacked. It's like, we dropped the ball so bad,
rolled away with some egg on her face.
Yes,
I guess we could say
massive.
Yeah.
So, but it was a really fun race. It was a really hard race, and I'm excited for the upcoming ones.
Yeah, there's 2 back-to-back. All right, next ones. So
I can't do the next one, and I'm bummed about it.
Why?
I've got my last show of the year. The play that made me miss Tour de Bloom last year is that night. So I'm not going to be there for that one, and it really bumps me out. But this is life.
Hey, at least you're going to be at Bloom.
I am going to be at Bloom. Jackson, did it kill you to have to kind of mark what we all labeled as probably the best, quote unquote best sprinter in the group? I'm not bashing you and your skills. No. But did it bother you to watch the race go up the road and have to do that? I mean, we all know that cycling is a team sport, but sometimes it kind of sucks eggs.
Yep.
Yeah, I was pretty excited for this week, and then or for this last week, and then kind of just sitting off was a little bit of a bummer. But I also knew that I had done perfectly what I needed to do to ensure that people with other skill sets could, try and go for that win. I knew what I had to do. I set out with a plan, and that's what I achieved. It did suck not being able to be the one in the final. But like I said, I think I'll just ride it a little differently with a little bit more confidence. And I think if we all are there together, I think we have to change a little bit of verbal communication. I think that's one thing that Sam, you began to say, was that for so many years now, we've been non-verbally communicating.
Because you've got such a tight initial unit.
Right.
We've spent 3-4 years all doing that, and now we've got some people who are like, what?
And so now, exactly. Now we have a bit of a different dynamic, and I don't think that is anybody's. I don't think anybody's at fault for that. It's just the situation we're in. And so, I'll be more willing to say something.
We've got a stacked team this year, which is so cool. When we were riding home, I was telling David, I'm like, how cool is it that our team can decide the fate of this race? And in regards of do we want to keep this together tonight, or do we want to try to, shatter souls, right? That's pretty cool to have a team that's that strong.
Just for
do you want to stay together?
Giggles,
I'll
maybe try staying it together. Not next week.
No,
week after that.
Okay,
when I'm there.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
With Tour de Bloom just 3 weeks away, how does everybody feel in terms of preparation? And again, for people all over the world who are listening to this podcast, the Tour de Bloom is our golden nugget. It is our big event on the calendar. It is regionally one of the biggest, if not the biggest, races around. We could probably all agree. Am I not putting it on too high of a pedestal?
Biggest one in Washington.
Probably in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Probably the West Coast, I would say. I think
Redlands.
Yeah, okay. That's your point.
Yeah. It's a pretty good size calendar event. And we are all attending, and we're all, I'm sure, putting it on some sort of a pedestal. So how are the steps to that pedestal going? What do you guys feel like? How do you feel in terms of preparation? Are there specific objectives you're trying to boxes you're trying to check between now and then? Anything like that?
Yeah,
or just
I want this team to freaking win a Thursday night. That's my box.
Yeah, okay. So you're taking Bloom more as let's just go and have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, that my general role that I can contribute to the team. We were joking that not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before, we did a mock TNT because we're kind of, the weather's been nicer, so we started a little bit earlier. Traditionally, we have a local pickup ride that we do that's from Memorial Day to Labor Day. But this year being nice weather, a couple of people called it out, let's go do this. And the fast guy from Moscow, he showed up, and he's on our team, and he's the junior, and it's kind of cool to give him an opportunity to he probably has a lot of potential in his future because of his age.
Yeah.
So we can work for him, and I think he's going to be our GC guy. It was pretty clearly demonstrated at the TNT.
Who the hell are you talking about?
Bear.
Lopez.
Oh, your team. Okay. The composite team.
Not
a Rive, not
I'm going
Packfiller.
I know.
We have a guy.
Remember they dumped
everybody
us
on this team.
Remember they dumped
you guys
us?
Did.
Yeah,
you guys left
totally,
us for dead on the side of the road.
Yeah.
We're going to do our own little super squad.
Yeah, that's right.
Super team.
Because we all would have been racing together anyways.
Hey, you know
that's
what?
right. It's just screw those generic. I mean those geriatric.
Generic
screwballs.
We are geriatric and generic.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. We're going to be in the kit. God
we need
damn
some
it.
help.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could race
Bear
Masters.
is a good pick. I mean, he raced in Belgium last year. He's done tour of Tucson, and he did another one down south, and
He
did another race last weekend.
Yep.
I mean,
he's all in, and it's pretty cool to like, you know, have roles where it's like being on a bigger team, being like, you got to light your whole matchbook because that group has to come back in.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of fun. Whereas in the past, we're like, I hope that there's another team here that can pull that in, you know, because you can't really do that yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So how old is he?
He's 19.
So he's not a junior anymore.
Nope.
Jackson, how you feeling going into all this? Is this a major calendar objective, or is this just let's go have some fun and race bikes for a weekend and see how it all folds?
I think it would. I'm gonna just have fun. I don't really I'm not really that crazy about it, but I do also think now that I've done it, I could actually achieve something. I think, as almost like a. I don't want to put myself on a pedestal. As almost like a classic style rider of like, you know, I think I could do well on like a rolling hill day or even that last day. I think I could do really well on that last day.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear this because I have thought of you as that way in a long time. You have, and I'm not saying one's right, one's wrong, but you've been kind of on this. My sprinting skill is my master skill, and I think you've got a lot more arrows in your quiver.
I think so too, and I think this is the first year that I've actually been able to like dedicate time to unlock that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to get something from a stage. I will not, unfortunately, be doing well in the overall because there is a hill climb,
actual mountain,
like a hill climb.
That first stage.
Yeah, it's 4 miles, 12%.
Oh,
it's really not that bad.
No,
I will
maybe
be
soft
honest.
pedal it.
Yeah,
it's Charles Hill for us around here, but twice as long. So
yeah.
or almost.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I did it last year, and I felt fine afterwards. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to get a little achievement out of it. But if not, it also doesn't really matter.
Are you guys Omnium or are you guys Time?
We're Omnium.
Okay. Omnium.
Well, we were talking about on Sunday, which I'll just say because I love sharing all this stuff, is that like I think is Jackson locally like one of the better all-arounders, you know, because like he's gonna get dropped on like a big climb where some other guys are gonna make it over that, right? But as far as like a puncheur, like, you know, somebody who can make it over a short climb, nobody's gonna outsprint him at the end, and he's gonna drop any of the other sprinters on those ones, right? So it's like he is in a unique position that he can, if he gets into the break, well, we got first place, you know. And so it's like it's cool that like you can have a top end sprint. You just like it's that sustained power, which if you look at, you know, like what he's been doing this last season, he's been doing a lot of the sustained stuff. Yeah. So it's like, and that just takes years of riding, I think. Yeah. Like you don't get that in your first year. You get that because you've done a lot of miles over a lot of years. It's like your 5-minute power is high, your 10-minute power gets higher, right? So, yeah.
That's, Paul, what you and I are basically, that's all we have left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From years of riding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know, it takes a lot to be able to do that and then have a sprint at the end. That's a unique thing.
How are you feeling, big guy, in terms of prepreration?
I've got a little knee issue and stuff.
Yeah.
A little niggle in your knee.
Yeah, I got a niggle in my knee. And I've had it it's progressively getting worse, but I've had it since 2017, I think it was.
Okay.
So I was diagnosed. I had 18 cc's of fluid taken out of my right knee, and then
Baker's cyst?
No, they call it Baker's cyst, or what they call maid's knee or something, because you're on your knees all the time. But a little bit of arthritis was progressing in my left knee. I don't know if that's what it is right now, but through the winter was pretty bad. When I got down to Palm Desert, it was all gone.
You're going to become one of those guys.
So, I would love to be down
You're
there.
Go to the warm climates and yell at people.
It's good for my arthritis.
Yeah, get the golf clubs and all that shit.
So anyway, I don't know what it is, but there's one direction that when I move my knee, that's where the pain is. And like Saturday's ride, I woke up, I could barely walk. Riding, I could feel it. It doesn't hurt that bad. But then when we got to Cheney, I could feel some pain in the back of my knee, and I had to peel out. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to push it because Bloom's coming.
Yeah.
I got to get this thing taken care of. So next day, I was able to put my new crank on and went out for a ride, and Saw you
Yeah.
doing your little announcing thing.
My little announcing
I
thing.
had, I could feel it, but there was like, no pain. Woke up this morning. I was back to where I was before.
Oh, God.
And about halfway through the day, it's gone. So I don't know what the heck it is. So that's my concern, is that I don't know what it is. So, but fitness-wise, that kind of dampened a little bit. I'm looking forward to the Thursday night race and just getting some speed. That's what I need, speed and recovery. I need to do interval stuff and not try and do like training interval. Okay, I'm going to go for 30 seconds at 2-minute rest, 1 minute. That's not bike racing. So when you throw yourself in like our TNT or a race, that's the real McCoy, because sometimes you don't get to recover all that much.
Yeah.
So, hopefully things turn around. We'll see. I'll just keep plugging away. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say, I on this entire AI experiment has been a very interesting endeavor. My objective was to be at, and I feel so weird talking about my weight on a podcast, but my objective for Tour de Bloom was to be 198.5 to 198. I am already at 193. And my
that
objective
is awesome.
I'm shooting for another substantial loss. I think I could probably be in the 180s by the time we get to Bloom, and so that would be something else. 16 pounds down already, and so we'll see. It's going to be really interesting. I too need to work on. It's kind of funny. I got back from that race on Thursday night, and I went to my computer and typed in the stats and this data and stuff like that. And I said, really need to work on speed work. And the AI coach came back and said, Pat, you're full of shit. You don't need to work on speed work. You can hit 1,000 watts in a sprint. You need to work on VO2 max intervals, which are those 40-second efforts and very short recovery and hit it again, and short recovery and hit it again. And it's exactly right. And so we're starting to work on that and see where that can go. I also am having an interesting issue with the AI in the fact that it is regimented. It is very strict. It is very solid in terms of what it wants me to do. Yesterday, I had the afternoon free, and so yesterday I went for a ride, and the rule was I have to, basically stay at a very low heart rate, and I have never gone slower up Jameson Climb in my entire life than I did yesterday. Best fitness I've had in probably 25 years, but the slowest I've ever gone up that climb. And a lot of it pays off, but it also comes down to sometimes on group ride days, on Saturday rides, where it says, I want you to stay in this zone, and do this at this point in time and this point in time. And I had to actually go back and say, you need to understand that if I were to never pin on a number again, I could live with that. But if I can't go out and bash it around with my friends on a Saturday, there's no point in me in doing any of this. And it went, you're right. This classic AI thing. It went, oh shit, I never considered the human element. We're talking about efficiency. We're talking about, assassin mentality, but then you got to understand that there's a human element, and some of the most enjoyable things I do are going out and suffering and barely holding on to wheels on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I'm sure a lot of cyclists feel that way. And, you can't live this just strictly goal-oriented life, or you're going to end up like a lot of the guys who we talk about who used to be cyclists, because they were so hell-bent on those objectives, and you lose it. So
that kind of reminds me of that BWR down in San Diego with that guy. Remember sitting up next to you? I plan on holding so many watts.
Oh, yeah.
And Alex...
Whoa!
Droopy. Droopy.
I am 63. Even my bike's giving up the ghost. But he was talking about when he was with, Movistar.
Yeah.
And a Movistar, they did this time trial, and this one guy goes, "How did you beat me? I mean, my average power output was way higher than yours." And he says, "Let me see your," and so when he was going downhill, he kept at whatever he said,
at 300 watts, whatever.
375, 380.
Yeah.
And then going up the hill, he kept it at that. And he says, "That's where you see I'm 0. and I'm at 800,
Yeah.
I just went flying right past you. You don't understand. There's that fluctuation.
Yeah.
You can't just say, this is my number, especially if it's a flat time trial and that's what you can do for an hour. But there's times where you got winds and stuff where people that are living by this number,
Yeah.
that's where you're going to get your advantage.
Yeah.
So you can't, like you said, the human element.
The soul
Yeah.
of the sport is so critical, you know, and yeah, I could go into a race and be the fittest guy there, but that's not going to be the guy that wins all the time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I did mention in a group text with you guys, I haven't expanded it out to the whole team yet, that I am something's wrong with me because I'm actually wanting to race my bike this year. So I'm thinking about the EPO weekend in Everett. My wife already booked a really kind of a cool camp area for us.
Where are we staying?
I don't know where you fuckers are staying, but Michelle and I are camping on right outside Anacortes on the water there. So we're gonna have a nice little place. And
Funny you should mention that. I reached out to Ryan,
Yeah.
the promoter on this, and they are working on 3 days for everybody, but
Oh.
juniors, I think, are only 2 days. I think Friday might be the race that you crashed on that Sunday 2 years ago.
Interesting.
okay,
But the other direction he was talking about, there's a downtown one, and of course by the water.
by the water.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, they're pressing forward, doing everything, so it's still rolling.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Everett
There you
Performance. I will plug Ryan's gig.
Yeah.
Everett Performance Omnium. Take give it a Google search. What's Rev Racing?
Revo.
Yeah.
Or
Revo
REVO.
Racing or Revo Racing, yeah, and they've got the whole weekend going. So I mean, it's got to plug bike
July
races. July
10th, 11th,
11th, and 12th. Yeah,
Summer crits. I'm racing pro. For sure. For sure. Mark my words. I'm racing in the pro crit.
that'll go over like a fart in
Mark
church.
my words. I'm racing the pro crit. Take me back.
He wants to have Phil go, you.
You
Ow,
out
ow.
of seat.
Yeah.
Go get a beer.
Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just sign up for the pro on the first one, see how it goes, and then we'll do the day by.
And he will be racing Liège on Sunday. Where do we see Remco in all this scheme of things?
Second.
Yep.
You mentioned he got out tacticked, when it came to Flanders.
Yeah.
But did he? Or did he just get dropped? Part of me wonders, I kind of think he just got beat by the two stronger guys on the day, and I kind of feel like that might be how LBL goes for him. Don't get me wrong, I think he rode a pretty good race. I think Skelmos was really trying to make him do a good lion's share of the work, and he did. But he was just stronger on the day.
Yeah.
That's just what it came down to. But I think when it comes to racing LBL, I get why he's not doing Flèche Wallonne. I don't see him beating Tadej. Those two go up that last climb,
Yeah.
and that is bread and butter right there for what Pogacar is looking for.
That is his turf. Isn't
And I love Remco, but nobody can shoot out of a rocket like Tadej can going uphill.
Yeah. That sit down power.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how he wins, like Flanders and stuff.
it? Yeah.
I watched the Amstel Gold one. Skelmoza said that his legs were cooked. He knew he was going to lose anyway. He says, "Yeah, I tried the best I can."
I think we all kind of knew the outcome.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if that was his first sprint win for a race.
He was
Remco's.
pretty
Remco's,
amped about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I might be wrong. But if you look at his last one-day races, Remco has a fantastic – he's in the top three. He's at 157th
Yeah.
place. But his record as a one-day racer is way better than a stage racer, even short stage racer.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting on La Redoute on LBL. That's the one that it's going to blow up. That's a brutal climb, but I think that sit-down power that Tadej has, I just don't think he's going to match it. But reflecting back at Flanders, that's where he lost it. But on the flats, I mean, he held his own with those two.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that guy just buried himself.
Yeah.
So
that gap wasn't going out. for a
no, it
long
wasn't
time.
at all.
Yeah,
I mean, and so Yeah, and people could. There was groups trying to bridge up to him. They couldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
Mads Pedersen and Wout, they couldn't even get to him. So I think he's strong, but he did make a comment that the sit down power on a climb, he doesn't have.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, wow.
If Tade does an attack on the Lara-Dude, then then it's a time trial. That's the only way. But I think Tade could beat him in the sprint, even if they matched up. I think he could get him.
I really wish that Remco did a race like Roubaix. I think he needs extra skills to really participate in a race like that. But he's so dominant on a non-hilly course that if he had the bike handling skills, that could be a race that would be perfect for him, but he'll never do it.
Speaking of bike handling skills, did you see what happened when he crossed over on Christopher Laporte's wheel?
Well, was that when Laporte pushed
Laporte,
him?
he didn't push him. He just put his hand on him.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, whoa. I mean, even...
He got pissed off.
Yeah, he got really pissed.
Yeah.
But he was coming over he came from his left, moving over on his wheel. And he just like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
You're going to take out not only me, but half the pack.
He's still got that cock of the walk mentality here, where it's like everybody
Sometimes
should
that's
bow
what it takes
down.
to win.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, I watched Amstel Sunday night, and the entire event felt like the whole peloton was just going, well, let's race for second and/or UCI points before the damn thing even started.
I will say it was probably top 10 most boring races I've watched in a while.
Because it was so
snooze
textbook.
fest.
We knew it was going to happen before it started.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why are we looking at that? I mean, are we seeing 5 riders who are just that much above and beyond the rest of the world, or are we seeing this? I don't know. I mean, is there a mental break between people who think they can do it? I'm so happy to see Paul Seixas coming up this weekend because I want to see some new faces enter this picture.
I think Jorgensen also being taken out.
That was
sucked.
terrible.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting to see.
That would have brought some
Yeah.
interesting
It just would have changed the race. Who knows? It would have been a different outcome, but it would have been a little bit more exciting, I think.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I don't know. David and I were joking last week about how it's really it makes sense that Remco is a soccer player. You know, like he is just like little drama.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. And so looking ahead to the Ardennes tomorrow, if you're listening to this with us on Tuesday, it is tomorrow. But if you're listening to this afterwards, spoiler alert. It continues with Flèche Wallonne, Tade and Evenepoel both skipping this midweek classic to focus on Liège. All eyes have Paul Seixas after crushing the field at Tour of the Basque Country and also finishing second at Strada Bianca. He is the bookmarker's favorite for the Mur de Huy, which is that beautiful, beautiful climb that comes up in it. But he does face competition from Skelmos, who is seeking revenge for his Amstel loss, and Kevin Vacalin for Ineos, who has finished on the podium here twice before. So the Mur de Huy, pure physics equation, watts per kilo in about 3 minutes. Are we looking at another type of a situation where just something comes down to sheer numbers, or are we going to see something? I mean, it's very rare that we see a tactical surprise coming into the Ardennes. It usually comes down to those true climbs. We don't see any surprises or anything like that. But with the two kings, Tade and Remco in this situation missing, what does the Flèche give us in terms of prestige? What does it give us in terms of, is it truly the big race, or is it just kind of the warm up to the big race? The old lady, as Paul was saying, right?
Yeah, that's the nickname.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit like the warm up, kind of like a Dwar's Door.
Yep.
Exactly
right.
It's a midweek. I mean, that right there tells you how it's treated. It's not on a weekend.
It's not a weekend. Yeah. Who are we thinking for the Flèche? We are seeing both. We have both men's and women's fields in front of us. The women's races are very interesting this week. We're seeing a lot of repeats. I don't know if it's because of the depth of the teams or what might be going on there, but we're seeing a lot of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. We're seeing Demi Vollering in both. We're seeing a lot of that there, which usually you would think especially when I'm seeing Paul Seixas in both races, I'm thinking, is that limiting his ability to race a really good Liège? With the women, I don't know. Are they forced to, or where we're going with it? But I did pick some different riders for Flèche and Liège with the women's peloton because of it, but I could be wrong. Paul, you were saying before we went on air that we've been seeing a lot of surprise wins. Demi Vollering taking Flanders, but that was kind of it. We're seeing some names coming out of nowhere. So there we go. I don't know if you guys want to comment on that or if we want to go straight to the picks.
Might as well head straight to it.
Straight to the picks. So for the women, for Flèche, I'm going a little bit outside of the norm. I am picking Demi Vollering. I am picking Pauline Ferrand-Perot because this is early. I'm wondering if, now that I'm saying it, I'm wondering if they're going to look at some of their teammates and maybe be in a supportive role and use it as a warm-up. But sometimes you think a champion's a champion and they're just going to turn it on. But I'm also picking Puck Pieterse because I think Puck is due for something big. For the guys, I'll just do them both. I'm going with Skelmos. I'm going with Paul Seixas, and I'm going with Romain Gregoire. He had a pretty good day, at least until the crunch. Yeah, he was there at the crunch for Amstel, but I don't see him winning. But I would love to see somebody other than those big names take that race.
For the women, did you say Vollering, Ferrand-Perot, and Peters?
Yep.
Okay, well, then that's mine. For the men, however, I chose Matthias Skelmos, Kevin Vauquelin, and Benoit Kuznetsov.
Oh, okay.
Benoit.
I think
Benoit Kuznetsov.
I like Paul Seixas. I just talk about a lot of pressure.
Oh, God, yeah.
At a young age, so I'm interested to see how he races.
I'm blanking out. They finish at the summit of the Mur de Huy, though.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where it's going to be just an all-out Watts.
I think it's 3 times they go up.
Yeah. Okay. Sam, how many Americans are in the race?
Me Vollering, Kisa Nieuwedoma, and then Anna van der Breggen.
Oh, okay.
And then Kevin Vauquelin.
You picked Vauquelin. You took out Matteo.
Yeah.
Jerk. Go ahead.
And then Paul Seixas and Matthias Skelmos.
Okay. Paul?
I went with Cassia because she was in the mix of things at Amstel.
Yeah.
And then PFP, and then I have Puck. For the women, okay. For the guys, Seixas, Matthias Skelmos, and then Heart Pick, and he's won it several times just because he's getting a little long in the tooth. Alaphilippe.
I would love to see Julian Alaphilippe there.
I know.
I would love to see that happen.
And he knows how to attack that. It's just if he has, the bullets
he has
in
the gas to get it over
yeah.
there. Yeah, I agree.
The secret of that race is all on that climb.
Final climb.
Yeah. And it's so stinking. People go too early, and then you think they got this huge gap, and they can't maintain.
Yeah.
You're just maxed, and that's it. And everybody else.
Alaphilippe's won this 3 times?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Liège, different beast altogether. We have limited start lists for both the men and the women. Women are even more limited, but I am sticking with Pauline and Demi for my 2 picks, but I am switching from Puck to Kasia Niewiadoma because I think she's ready after the tumble in Milan-San Remo. I think she's had that time to recover, and I think she's going to be ready to fire on all cylinders there. So speaking of Kasia, did you hear that Taylor Finney's back?
Mm-hmm. Gonna race.
Taylor Finney's making a bid for the Olympics. So
on the track.
Yeah, on the track.
And he does a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of gravel too. He raced.
He is. Yeah. Seattle had. Cool. I do want to mention here we are. I'm jumping all over the place, but Seattle had some live coverage that was pretty damn good.
It was really good.
Race.
Yeah. I kept thinking, why is there an electric bike in this field?
Yeah, it's cameraman. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool.
For the men, I am going to the obvious. I'm going Tadej and Remco, but I'm including Paul Seixas in there for a 3rd pick, even though he will be probably a little tired from Flèche. But we'll have to see how that goes. I might be regretting those picks. But Tade, I think, is a given.
I did Nieuwiadoma, Vollering, and Peters for this one. Yeah, I don't really think there's any other explanation when it comes to that. I think for the men, I did. I picked Skelmos, Evenepoel, but really, what's the point? Tade's going to win this race anyways.
There's this monument. He's gonna end up with.
He'll end up with four
monuments.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I mean,
That's crazy.
You should have had 5, right, Jackson?
he should have, and I think he will. He'll have. We
So
all.
You
glad
think
it was
he's
Wout,
going
though.
to do all 5 in a year?
No,
in
don't
his
think-
career?
I
I think
think
this was
Not
the
in
year.
his career.
I think it will be possible maybe next year. I think it'll be hard, but he will have all 5.
I bet,
don't-
he,
Yeah,
I
he'll
bet he
have-
won't do.
He won't
well, I'm
race
saying,
Roubaix,
like,
Nick. I bet he and
I bet he will
won't
race
race
Roubaix.
Roubaix. Oh, he had mentioned that he says he might not. He might come back in 2 years.
I can guarantee you right now he's doing
no,
Roubaix next year.
Roubaix has to cross off. He's done Milan San Remo.
Yeah, I think
He's
he doesn't
already
care
kinda
about
like-
Milan
yeah.
anymore. He's like, hey,
That's
I got
so
that.
much effort to get that
Yeah.
Yeah.
handled. So,
Yeah.
I think he'll have all 5.
Okay.
100%.
Oh yeah, he
There's
at
no-
one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been cool all in one year, but
Yeah.
not if it was against Wout. That was if
That
it was
was-
against
nobody wanted
anybody
that to
else.
happen.
that
Nobody
would've been
wanted that
cool.
to happen.
No.
I think Tade probably got back to his car and went, "Shit. Well, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Probably that
couldn't
quickly,
happen
too.
to a nicer guy.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Throw something at the wall.
I chose Demi Vollering, a lot of Kopecky, and then I have to choose an American, Kristen Faulkner. And then Tade.
Yeah. Just that's the only guy.
I'm just going to leave it there.
Just
I don't
there.
even care about the other 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
Paul.
A lot of Kopecky, PFP, and Demi Vollering. The reason I picked a lot of Kopecky, thank you. SD Works hasn't really done anything, so I think they're going to work hard on that one. I think I have the same as you, Remco,
Tade.
Pogacar, and Seixas.
Yeah, I that would be a really cool podium
Mm-hmm.
in there because I just want that kid to keep coming and keep
I want him
growing,
second,
keep
though, and
developing.
Remco third.
And I know that there are rumors that they're not going to put him in the Tour, but Decathlon, this is the time where you're using up talent and just so put him in the Tour. Put him in the Tour. He doesn't have to win.
President Macron supposedly talked to him
Did he?
about staying with
Decathlon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, please don't go. Don't go to one of those super teams. I wonder if the French government's like, we will, you are tax-free forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Your parents,
See, that
the
is
house,
a drawback.
no mortgage.
It's a drawback for French teams because
Yeah.
they have to pay some kind of tax, like a social security tax or something
Oh.
like that. So the same budget, in order to afford the team, they have to pay like 30% more
Oh, shit.
because if
That's gotta be
if
way
you
for
are
cycling.
registered with in France, you have to pay that tax.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oof.
yeah, that's going to be add that on to 30% more on whatever you're going to keep the guy on the team. So that's going to be tough.
I do have one more news story before we get to segments, and I thought this one would be an interesting one, but it might just go over like a lead balloon. The death of the eMTB World Cup, the e-mountain bike World Cup. In a surprising move this week, the UCI announced the cancellation of the e-mountain bike cross-country World Cup for 2026. Governing body cited a failure to meet, quote, international growth objectives, end quote, and concerns over the format's spectator appeal. E-mountain bike racing remains popular at the amateur level, but the pro circuit has struggled with inconsistent motor regulations and lack of viewer interest. The UCI will continue to hold one-day world championships at Val di Sole, but the season-long series is officially over. Basically, the UCI just said nobody wants to watch people race e-bikes. Is it a victory for acoustic cycling, or is a massive missed opportunity to market the fastest-growing part of the industry?
Oh no, we're losing that. I don't think anybody's.
I didn't even know they had.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
I
don't
love
care.
e-bikes. I think they are fantastic. I wish more people would ride them instead of giving up bikes, right?
Yeah.
But no, that should not be a
No,
competition.
racing those are kind of a bit silly.
That's stupid.
And I'll run this parallel with F1 because they have new rules this year with a hybrid and the way it's charged and everything. It is chaos. I mean, it just changed racing.
Yeah.
It's just
Really?
so yeah. I mean, it kind of takes away. Well, anyway, I don't want to go down that road, but still, nevertheless, the thing is
if you've got extremely fit athletes on an e-bike, what is it going to do?
It's all about battery
It's going to make it
management.
faster.
Well, no, it's battery
okay.
management, and that's what's happening with F1. And there's times where you see somebody who should be winning, but because they didn't use the battery. And how do you manage? What if your battery isn't, for some reason, it's colder temperature or it's an older battery? I mean, there's too many variables.
It's
stupid. Dumb.
Yeah, that was
it's
the
just
stupidest
dumb to
thing to
race.
happen to F1.
Yeah. And Formula E is never taken off.
Nope.
For that same reason. It's just...
Wait 5 minutes while we charge this.
Yeah. Well, they switch cars. They have cars that come in the pits, and they have to take a car.
I never knew that. I never thought about the battery element of it. I thought it would just be a
it's
go.
Battery management is like a huge part of it. So, I mean, it does take some skill when you're going to have to map out the course. I'm going to use, so much of the battery here and when blah, 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 blah. But, your battery it's a mechanical thing that could fail on you or just even 10% less to the next guy.
I do want to restate the fact that we are not bashing e-bikes.
No,
we are bashing
E-bikes are awesome.
World Cup racing on e-bikes.
Yeah, I just think any form of e-bike racing is silly.
Okay.
But I have the same opinion of like Zwift World Championships or whatever.
Yeah, I guess in my opinion, we meet a crossroads between cross-country mountain biking, which is already like at its core, like watching the human body at its limit for as long as they can go for it, right? But then when you add in the e-bike, it's like, are they on the limit? This is a weird gray area that I don't know if it's just like it's a little area that doesn't really matter. And then you have a thing like motocross. If you want to watch people absolutely rip through a course on a two-wheeled vehicle, watch motocross.
Mm-hmm. Or downhill.
Yeah. But I think when you have that e-bike, it's just too weird. Mm-hmm. It doesn't fit a category well enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of athletes won't really care that it's gone. Tom Pidcock's going to be like the last
the
last guys to really
you use motocross and even F1 before the battery. I mean, they used to have a different battery to help charge the pass based off of conserving the energy from braking and everything like that. Yeah. So that is different to me. But the whole thing about racing, whether it's cars, bikes, motorcycles, is the human element, controlling the power, being able to apply it at the right time. Overgas and lose control in a corner on a MotoGP. You see people topsiding sometimes doing. That's all about. We're there to watch the human element, and that's what cycling to me. No matter even through the ages of bikes and technology have gone forward, there's still that human spirit that watching somebody overcome adversity like Wout did. I mean, that's what the joy is. Can you imagine? It's like he had a whole human experience, and that's.
I'm sure there's multiple layers to it, but I agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to follow you guys on that one. Okay. I didn't expect that story to get that much traction with you guys. I thought you were all going to be like, screw them.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah. I had never watched one. I had heard of them, but I had never watched
I think Pidcock did one. I thought it was a world championship. Didn't he do one?
Yeah, he just annihilates them every time.
Yeah. Just training ride. Okay.
He doesn't even turn the motor on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Carl Decker did that once at Sea Otter. He raced the e-bike category on a standard bike, but he actually attached like an old worn out kitchen appliance to it with a cord sticking out of it and stuff like that. And he raced the e-bike at Sea Otter and placed.
That's
just
rad.
on a standard bike.
Yeah.
That's
great
rad.
guy, goofy guy. If you guys haven't looked up Carl Decker, one of the great personalities, that might not have ever been, top of the World Cup, but boy, what a fun guy. Yeah, I remember talking to him a bunch of times. He's a cool guy. So let's jump into segments tonight, gentlemen, shall we? Thanks to our friends at Thomas Hammer Coffee. I promise the blend's coming. It's coming. Tom's a busy guy, but if you haven't tried any of Tom's coffee, what the hell's wrong with you? If you have, try the Blue Eyes blend because I invented it. I kid you not. I invented it. There we go. I'm not making that shit up.
It's a good one.
It's
a good one.
During
we did have some. Yeah. So we're changing times first and foremost, always, because he's got to get to the buffet early because he's our oldest man. Changing times with Paul Main tonight's Angina de Poitrine. Is that how I pronounce it?
I don't know. You're the one that took French.
Poitrine.
Angine de Poitrine.
Angina, but it's angina. You put.
Angine.
Or you talking about the band?
No, that's a French. There's a band, but it's a French word. It basically refers to when the heart doesn't get enough blood or oxygen. And stuff. But it also deals with the van.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay. By the way, if you haven't seen that
Nope.
Krookie band, they're really cool.
Yeah,
it's awesome shit.
Yeah, their stuff is microtonal type music where you're like quarter notes, and it is.
Yeah.
And their costumes are kind of whacked.
Yeah, way out costumes.
Yeah.
They're
2-piece.
Record on a loop kind of thing.
And he does sound with his toes too. He changes the loops and volumes, and he'll turn down and do a loop in silence while the other ones are playing, and then he'll incorporate it with his feet on the different pedals.
It's just guitar and drums.
That's cool.
That is.
If you haven't seen them, you would know if you've seen them because they wear outrageous outfits that look like aliens.
Polka dots.
Like yeah.
Everything's about the pyramid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came across him again because it's like a big buzz, and
it's all over social.
And I like alternative music. I love jazz, and the thing that I like about jazz and also this group is that they're in jazz. I'll use it, and I'm a little more familiar with it. Is that there's moments when you go to like, listen to jazz when there's a stepping out. So like, there's a melody that goes through, and then somebody steps out, like the piano player or trumpet or saxophone. They'll just go off on a tangent, and you look at the other members, and there's just like, he's picked something up. I mean, it's all improv type thing.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is like, I get it. And then they start, once he backs off, then if the saxophone picks it up or starts it, then the piano and the drummer does his stuff, and boom, 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 boom. And that is cool to me. That the thing is I relate that to cycling and strategy. That pop music is great and everybody likes it. The timing it's easy to sing, get stuck in your head, and that's why people like it, and it's so popular. But when it gets a little more complicated, and I'm going to run a parallel with cycling, is that when you move up in category, first of all, it's easy to win a race when you just put your head down. You're the fastest guy. Cat 3, 5 and 4. 3 is a little more strategy. You get in the 2s, 1s, pros. There is, when you're on a team, we're speaking about strategy, it gets to the point where, like, you guys knew what's going on. But when you mix somebody in, eventually hopefully they'll get that rhythm, that understanding. And that just takes practice. It just takes practice. But it is vital at that point in time to be experienced enough that when you make a move, it has to be for something. At Cat 1, 2,
David,
you don't just like, okay, you took off. What was the purpose? What were you trying to gain? I just wanted to hurt these people. You can't do that because you could be hurting a teammate, or they could be in the back, like something could be wrong. That has to be, a purpose. There has to be a communication. If you go to, even it doesn't have to be verbal, but if you plan on making a move, look around at your teammates before you blast off or something, because it could blow everything apart. Yeah. And nothing works. And so anyway, I tied that in. I just heard that music. I just absolutely thought, first of all, it started like, and you have to change up for those, especially on like training races. Everybody has them in their area. I know from years after years, I can guarantee you this guy is going to do this. Yeah. And I can bank on it, and I can just build my strategy from it. And so from when a couple of their songs that I was going back to the band, it sounds like chaos. And you're thinking, I don't know if I can handle listening to it. Pretty soon, you start seeing, and then you get the rhythm, and it's like
when the drummer kicks in, it really changes.
And then even the bass line, he'll change up the bass line. And you're like, and it's like, I get it, and that's what a team needs to do. I think eventually they're just like, I I get where you're going. I know
Yeah.
that. So anyway,
That's a great analogy. I like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know if we can ever achieve that with David, though.
yeah,
He's
he'll
like,
get
he's
there.
a wild card that has no purpose.
I will say, I think there is a beauty in going up to someone and saying, "Stop,
Mm-hmm.
just don't do anything."
Oh, I tried that
But
on Thursday.
But
you
who
are
listens
his
to
brother.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys here, I would love for you guys to try. I told him 2 times, stop attacking. And he goes, okay, yeah. Half a lap later. You didn't even do anything.
Hey, Labrador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the time that we had, we used to have 2 beagles. And there was one point in time, my wife tells the story really well, that,
Doug? Or
no, this was Jake.
Jake.
Jake was stuck in a rose bush. It tagged his ear, and he was panicking and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And Jake was really kind of a standoffish. She couldn't pick him up. He was, we got him as later in life, and I think somebody had messed with him or something pretty badly. But she went up to him, and he was freaking out and panicking. And all she did was she gave him a huge hug. And he eventually just kind of went limp, and she was able to get that off of there. So we all just need to collectively give your brother a big hug.
We'll do that before the race.
Good luck.
Say, David, calm down, big boy. It's okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, his whole objective is to hurt others, but also to hurt himself. He wants to just hurt. He's like, I
can
want to
guarantee
finish
you.
the race just shelled. And I'm like, you can do that and have an objective.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get it.
I can guarantee that just, I've done it too, where I think I'll just push the pace here. And the times where you start using your head, there is a point in the race where it's a good time to go forward, and you will suffer. You will suffer.
Yeah.
You just got to pick that moment.
Yeah,
we
you
go.
guys got to talk to him.
I don't know if you'll listen to an old fart like me. Speaking of which, let's get to Fit Tips with Bike Fit Sam from Ambassador Cycling, ambassadorcycling.com. You got to do this. And this is where I thought it was kind of funny. I talked about dogs. We talked about old man. And now you're going to talk about hip dysplasia.
Yep.
And bike fits.
Yep.
Huh?
So, yeah, I mean, because, that's, I would say my specialty. I do a ton of bike fits, especially this time of year. But where I come in is doing fits in a more unique case. And so I had somebody call in, and they were saying, I have hip dysplasia. I, really want to get back out on the bike, but I just haven't been able to do it.
My family keeps saying I'm going to go live at a farm upstate.
Yeah, pretty much. And so
Maybe dig a hole in the backyard and stand in it.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that hip dysplasia is, there should be genetics that could be part of it. It could be from childhood and you didn't catch it and you didn't start, there's braces that they have for this.
Yeah.
But it's where basically the hip socket is too shallow, and so you have
Pistol.
yeah, you end up with no stability in the hips are moving all over.
Ow.
And so you need a bit more your wider stance, stuff like that for it on a bike. But so what I've done in this case is shorter crank arms. We've talked about this. You don't have to flex your hips as much to get up over it because you just don't. Basically at this point they have osteoarthritis setting in, being a little bit older. They're osteoarthritis can set in at a pretty young age. But so they have osteoarthritis setting in, so they need to have less range of motion, shorten the crank arms, and then widen your pedal stance. So widen the Q factor. Quad angle.
It all comes back
that
now.
Was so funny. I still can't believe the brain farted that. Anyway, yeah. So if you do those things to open up the hips a little bit, that is gonna make your issue better. There might be other things you have to fix as well, but at least doing those 2 fixes will get you in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of obviously hip dysplasia in animals. I had never known it was a human condition. I
Yep.
know that makes me sound really stupid, but
No.
I'm used to that.
No, it's one of those things. It's not as common,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's humans too.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Holy shit. There we go. Learn something new. The more you know. Cool down time with Jackson. What do you got for us, Chief? Cool down.
So Over, I think it was last week or the week before, I just felt a little bit like sluggish, maybe a little bit like overworked. And in that time, I think coming back from Vegas was a rough thing to go.
Hell yeah.
But in that spirit, for my birthday, actually, my wife and I are going to get massages.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't had a massage in 3 years. And
that one was a weird one, wasn't it?
it was a weird one because she wouldn't stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I don't like to talk. I even sometimes I love I just
What'd she say? Would she like, sir, this is a Wendy's?
yes. I just like, it depends on the certain procedure. I'm not a big talker.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
kind of want them to just like do their, like, this sounds really shitty, but just like do their job and like
Yeah. You
we're-
don't feel pressure, right? To talk. Yeah.
Right. She just kept asking questions.
You
And
should be able to read the room of like, if you can like start it off and chat, and then if somebody's like not really responding, it's like, oh, we're not talking.
Yeah. And if you've ever been with me at a drive-through, specifically a coffee drive-through, you know that you know how well I can shut down a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
just glad you're not going to massage drive-thrus because that's fucked up.
No.
That's
I
how
was-
you end up in jail.
Yes.
So you end up in jail.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know if I was overtrained or just like super extra tired, but I guess like what I'll ask you guys is, have you ever been overtrained? And then what is your, like, how important is recovery period or recovery time to you?
Oh, wow.
Because more and more lately, I've had a tougher time like letting myself do that. Yeah, those are my questions.
Yeah, in my time of racing through the years, I have hit a point where I was so overtrained, I was convinced I had mono. And I went to the doctor, and they're like, I have mono. And they're like, well, why do you think that? And I'm like, because I am always tired, and I am, like, at my end. And they're like, yeah, you need to eat some food. And I was like, no, you don't know how much food I'm eating. It's insane. And I weighed 165 pounds at 6'3". And so, like, yeah, they're like, well, then you need to stop biking. So I, cut back a little bit at the end of the season and started feeling better. But that was like the worst burnout that I've ever had. Since then, I will round this out to the next part of it is like, if I'm feeling like this week, David and I were talking, I was like, yeah, I'm not really going to be riding this week much. I have my brother-in-law coming into town this weekend, so I'm going to be hanging out with him. Won't be riding. I, will probably do the Thursday night. And it's like, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna stress it because I think stressing about it and trying to jam too many things in actually set me back and then put me in a hole, kind of like what you're talking about, right? And it's like, it's okay to come back from these types of things. At least what I realized in my, I'm only 35, but my older age than when I was in my mid 20s is like, all right, take a deep breath, let's reset and kind of get back on good terms.
I've shared this story before, but it was my first year of. I just was full gas from February. I rode in the snow on road bikes. I rode in the snow, ice, whatever. I did whatever. I rode from February 5th, and then we had the state championship coming up, and I was just coming unglued. I just couldn't figure it out. And I rode every single day.
Wow.
And Mondays and Fridays were like your easy days. But when you go out with guys that you ride with all the time, there's a little hill, and then it's a sprint. I mean, there was no easy days. And the idea of getting sick or missing a day would play in my head like you wouldn't believe. And when this one lady who was a massage therapist and followed the national circuit, she just said the best thing you could do is don't touch the bike, don't look at your bike, go out and do everything, like go see a movie, go hang out with some friends that are not involved with cycling, just see family, do not do anything because you're mentally and physically burned out. And I'm like, I can't do that because the state championship is, she said 4 days. I said, I don't have a ride before the state championship. And she goes, doesn't matter. You're not going to do any better anyway. And so I did it. And then when I got, oh man, the first like 5 miles, I'm like, this sucks. I'm just going to pull out. But then it just got better. I felt so much better, and it was just all uphill from that point on for the rest of the season. So
that's cool.
I dealt with major burnout in the late 80s, so much that I was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr from it. which is just extreme fatigue. And it became a viral issue, and so that took me away from the Olympic Training Center in 1987 when I was living there, it took me a while to come back from that, and that was that 100% overtraining. And then I did it again in college, where I had a coach who would make me do 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, on multiple days a week, doing stuff like that. And I've talked about it on this show, how I've, because of those years, developed this mentality that you have to do something. You have to do something probably 4 to 5 days a week. You have to, because if not, you're not getting fit. And I will say, it's funny that this fucking AI thing has been, like, for example, I rode today for 45 minutes. It was 80 degrees, and I rode for 45 minutes on the trainer. Go ahead. You know where to send the emails and ridicule me. Because it was scientific, because I was able to just kind of go zone 2 and then loosen the legs up with a couple efforts and then get off the bike. I was done. I came down here. I got ready for the show. And then it says specifically on many times, don't even look at your bike tomorrow. Don't even think about it. No, go out, spin the legs, nothing. Don't even look at your bike tomorrow, because I've told it that I want to do TNT on Thursday. And it's been incredibly hard to do those things. I have mentally been like going, I'm everybody else is riding today. I got to go out and ride. Mm-hmm. But I've never had better results because of the fact that I'm resting properly. And especially when you get to be our age, my age, Paul's age, stuff like that, you can't do it anymore. I can't go into a Thursday night crit thinking that I'm going to outpower you guys. If I'm going to do anything, I have to do it intelligently. And that's hard for me because I'm not smart.
Versus back, 10 years ago, like I used to be able to, go do 5-day stage races, and then I'd do, like a recovery day, and then I'd be back at it. Yeah. And a week in, week out, and it was just like, now, no way. Yeah. Yeah. Like if I do a Thursday night, I'm clapped on Friday. I'm done.
And I know that's the case, and it's all the statistics show it for me, but that devil on my shoulder is still from 1988 going, you have to do sprints on Tuesdays, distance on Wednesdays, intervals on Thursdays, maybe rest on Friday with an easy spin, race efforts on Saturday and Sunday, and Monday you take off. And then you start all over again.
Yeah, when the season started, we were 3-4 times racing. Yeah. I didn't really have a training program. I just raced bikes. Yeah. And that was the other part of the burnout. I mean, there was a period where Badlands just started their series, and then we had Arrives had their Twilight. Yeah. So we had 2 weekday races, Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah. And then I was gone every single weekend. I was on the road racing. 3 stage, 2-day stage races.
Crazy.
Yeah. All the way up to October.
And now you wonder why we have incredible endurance still.
Yeah.
Because that's all we did.
Because you got it in your 20s.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jackson.
Yeah.
I love these questions. I always love them. And again, we've completely plowed over the fact that I can't do Broom Wagon trivia, and I'm sure that bums you out. The second week in a row we canceled it out. Yeah,
next
exactly.
Week.
Yep. We'll just keep it in. We'll keep powder dry there. We're one day I'll whip it out.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Hey.
That takes us to the end of the podcast and our final K, our final question. Be sure and like and subscribe, you guys. Check out all the YouTube offerings, including the most recent episode of the Gruppetto, which is doing incredibly well. And I'm not saying that like a certain president, but it's great. And Sam and Paul bust my balls literally and figuratively because of the position. It busted my balls. The final K for tonight, gentlemen. What is your fancy restaurant dessert order? You're in a fancy restaurant. Price is no limit. What are you ordering, Jackson?
A creme brulee.
Oh.
Yep. Choice every time.
Some kind of a chocolate mousse, probably.
Chocolate mousse. Okay. Yeah. Paul?
Man, I don't even order dessert anymore.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No.
If you had a little cocktail or anything, or maybe even a cocktail?
I don't do cocktails.
You don't do cocktails?
No,
you don't even do a dessert. If you had no budget?
Every once in a while, if I see, Purgatory downtown, that they have like whatever. Okay. They had a banoffee cheesecake. I'll do that every once in a while.
Okay. Yeah. I would do a cheesecake, and I would do a little espresso. I like a little espresso. I can drink espresso right now and be asleep in half an hour. And
Yeah.
oh, it's got so good.
And
when
at
you
2
have a
o'clock,
good
you're going,
dessert. Yeah.
I don't-
No,
yeah.
I stay asleep. I stay asleep. I sleep like the dead. My wife hates me for it. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
What do we got 2 races to watch this weekend. We got a little who's throwing down on Thursday.
Me.
I'll think about it.
Okay, I am. Paul, you and I have to discuss logistics so we don't
Yep,
get dropped
yep,
on
yep.
that climb.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And David, David quit running.
Yes.
He ran this weekend.
Yeah,
I think
And
that was
that's
his
why
problem.
another reason he's not here is just because he's going to be in the Midwest hell. He's going to be running again probably this weekend.
Really?
This weekend he's going to the Midwest.
Bitch.
It's for fun?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's enough. There we go. Family? No?
No.
Okay. Never mind then. I guess we'll never know, everybody. Jax has been running and it makes him fast, so there we go.
Yeah.
He's proof that running works. For me, not so much.
No.